Gen Z's office code. At 7 minutes past 9 on a Monday morning, behind the glass wall of a corporate office, a meeting was about to begin. The manager had opened his laptop, the senior team was looking at the calendar, and a new Gen Z employee sitting in the corner was quietly sipping coffee. The manager asked, "What is today's priority?" That boy replied without panicking, "Sir, today is bare minimum Monday, we will do urgent work first, rest according to energy." Some people in the room smiled, but questions froze on some faces. After some time in the pantry, the same employee said to his friend, "Boss was pinging again over the weekend, I ghosted him." A senior standing nearby heard this and got genuinely scared whether this employee was about to leave the job. But the real twist was that these words were not just a joke. This was the new language of the new office, and behind this language was hidden such a restlessness of the corporate world, which was difficult to understand through old rules. Today in the workplace, not only technology has changed, not only laptops and apps have changed, but even the way employees express emotions has changed. Earlier people used to hide fatigue, now they give it a name. Earlier someone used to stay quietly frustrated, then submit a resignation. Now he says, "I'm in quiet quitting mode," and the whole team suddenly starts thinking where the mistake happened. Gen Z did not consider the office as merely a place of work. For them, the office is an emotional environment where there is an account for respect, time, identity, mental health, and growth for everything. This is the reason why in their language there is anger too, humor too, warning too, and sometimes silent rebellion too. But the question is, from where did this rebellion start? In the old corporate world, one line used to be very popular: "First work hard, then you will get recognition." Gen Z asked a small question from this line, but at what cost? This question is not just India's. Across the world after the pandemic, work culture changed. Remote work, hybrid office, burnout, layoffs, and the fear of AI shook employees' thinking. When home itself became office, bedroom became meeting room, and the phone was never turned off, then the new generation started drawing boundaries for work. And as soon as boundaries came, new words were born. These words are not slang, they have become the emotional X-ray of the workplace. The very first word is quiet quitting. Hearing it feels like the employee is leaving the job, but actually he does not leave the job, he just leaves unpaid extra emotional labor. Imagine, an employee is doing his work properly, meeting deadlines, attending meetings, but stops picking up that extra mail at 10 o'clock at night. To the old boss, this might look like laziness, but for that employee it is survival. He is saying, "I will work, but I will not mortgage my life." Right here the conflict starts. The company thinks commitment has reduced, the employee thinks exploitation has reduced. One same behavior, two different meanings. The hidden message of quiet quitting is that the job description is not just paper. If the company wants extra, then respect, reward, and clarity will also have to be given extra. Now comes the second word, rage applying. Hearing this, the scene changes. At 11 o'clock at night, the employee is sitting at his laptop. In the inbox there is a sharp message from the boss, and anger is boiling inside. He does not write a resignation. He opens his CV. Then one job portal, second portal, third portal, and in no time sends dozens of applications. This is called rage applying. That is, looking for a job in anger. This is the digital exit door for office frustration. Earlier people used to talk to a friend when angry. Now people test their value in the market when angry. This is an emotional reaction, as well as a silent warning. The company does not even find out that the employee has mentally stepped out. He is still sitting at the desk, but his hope has gone into some other company's inbox. The third word is loud quitting. This is the opposite of quiet quitting. Here the employee does not leave quietly, but while leaving makes his displeasure public. Sometimes a LinkedIn post, sometimes a long message in the team group, sometimes blunt feedback in the exit meeting. This becomes not just a resignation but a public statement. Behind loud quitting many times there is very long suppressed pain. The employee does not explode suddenly, he has been feeling ignored for many months. But in this there is risk too. Between raising your voice and burning a bridge, there is a very thin line. Gen Z often walks boldly on this line. For the corporate world this is uncomfortable, because in older times bad culture used to hide in closed rooms. Now one viral post can bring it out. The fourth term is bare minimum Mondays. That heavy feeling of Monday morning, when the weekend is over and as soon as the inbox opens the mind gets tired. Gen Z said, breaking oneself on Monday is not necessary. Start slowly, do the most important work, and start the week not with panic but with control. This is not shirking work if understood properly. This is energy management. just as a runner does not apply full speed in the first step of a race. But if the manager understands this wrong, then a problem is created. Because bare minimum Monday does not mean running away from output, but avoiding burnout. This word shows that the new generation does not see productivity like a machine. For them, energy is also a resource, not just time. The fifth word is coffee badging. This is the most interesting and slightly funny truth of hybrid work culture. The employee comes to office, swipes entry badge, takes coffee, meets 2 colleagues, perhaps does a short meeting, and then goes home to complete real work. The company thinks the employee joined in office culture. The employee thinks attendance was marked too, and focused work was saved too. Coffee badging was born because many offices in hybrid work mistook presence for productivity. But Gen Z asks, did I come to be seen or to work? This term exposes corporate contradiction. If work is happening on laptop, then in which building the chair is? Why did this become such a big question? The sixth term is productivity theater. This means acting like working. The employee looks active on screen, sends emails, keeps team status green, but real deep work is very little. This is not just the employee's cleverness, but the system's weakness too. Where work is measured not by impact but by visible busyness, theater starts there. Many people do unnecessary meetings just because showing an empty calendar feels dangerous. Many people send mails late at night so that dedication is visible. Gen Z gave a name to this drama, productivity theater. And as soon as it got a name, people started recognizing that being busy and being valuable are not one thing. This term is a mirror for managers. If the team is acting, then perhaps measurement is wrong. The seventh term is Chaise lounge syndrome. The name is stylish, but the scene is very familiar. Laptop in lap, employee on sofa, sometimes on bed, sometimes working on recliner. Remote work gave freedom but broke posture, routine and work-life boundary. The resting place gradually became a place of stress. Earlier, bed was a place for sleep. Now that same bed has become a place for late-night decks, morning calls and deadline panic. Chaise lounge syndrome sounds fun, but behind it is the hidden damage of remote work. Body is at rest but mind is never turning off. Gen Z label this too, because they know that work is not just output, but leaves an impact on body and mind too. The eighth term is ghosting the boss. Hearing this, the boss might get a bit scared, but it does not always mean disrespect. This happens when after office hours, on a day off or in personal time, an employee does not respond to boss's calls and messages. In old culture, this could be called attitude. In new culture, this is called a boundary. If every message on the weekend becomes urgent, then rest never remains rest. Gen Z made silence a tool to break this loop. But here too, balance is necessary. There should be a difference between emergency and habit. If everything is an emergency, then actually the process is weak. The ninth term is career cushioning. This is the most practical and slightly scary word, especially for companies. The employee is in his job, taking salary, working, but alongside learning new skills, making a network and looking at opportunities. This is not cheating, it is career insurance. In the era of layoffs, automation, AI, and unstable markets, the new generation does not consider keeping a backup plan as weakness. Earlier, people used to expect long-term loyalty from the company. Then companies showed restructuring, cost-cutting, and sudden layoffs. Now employees have also made their cushion. The message of career cushioning is clear. I am committed, but I am not blind. The 10th term is micro-break culture. This small word challenges the old understanding of work. Earlier, sitting on a chair for hours used to be considered dedication. Gen Z says, getting up for 2-3 minutes every hour, drinking water, resting eyes and resetting the mind is also part of work. Science also agrees that continuous attention does not remain at the same level. Small breaks can impact focus, mood and fatigue. But seeing an employee taking a break on the corporate floor, many seniors still judge. They feel, got tired so quickly? Actually, micro-break culture is not a lazy pause. It is a small safety valve against burnout. Now do not look at these 10 words separately. All these together tell a big story. Quiet quitting says boundaries are needed. Rage applying says do not accumulate frustration. Loud quitting says suppressed pain can come out. Bare minimum Monday talks about saving energy. Coffee badging raises questions on show of presence. Productivity theater exposes fake busyness. Chaise lounge syndrome shows the body cost of remote work. Ghosting the boss protects personal time. Career cushioning is the answer to job insecurity. And micro-break culture says that a human being is not a battery. which you just charge and put to work again. Here a big question arises. Is Gen Z really running away from work, or are they looking at work more honestly? Many senior leaders say the new generation is impatient. They want quick promotion, quick feedback, quick flexibility. But General Z's answer is different. They say we have seen burnout, seen layoffs, seen toxic hustle. We will not repeat that same mistake. This generation grew up with the internet. They see salary ranges, see company reviews, see viral resignations, and workplace stories do not stay hidden. Earlier office culture stayed within closed walls. Now Glassdoor, LinkedIn, Reddit, Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts have made every experience searchable. Due to this, the power balance shifted a little. The employee does not feel alone now. He finds out that his frustration is not private but a pattern. This is the reason why Gen Z words spread rapidly. Feeling of one office reaches another city, another country, and another industry as a meme. But not every trend is healthy. Rage applying can be impulsive. Loud quitting can damage future reputation. Productivity theater can hollow out the employee himself. Right here, intelligence is needed. Not every new word is a rebellion, sometimes it is a warning light. If a light is glowing on the dashboard, abusing the car does not fix the engine. For companies, the real lesson is do not dismiss language as a joke. When employees are making new words, perhaps old systems are failing to catch their point. If the team is talking about quiet quitting, check workload and recognition. If rage applying is increasing, see manager's behavior. If coffee badging is happening, clear the purpose of coming to office. If there is productivity theater, improve output measurement and meeting culture. And if people are ghosting the boss, make a boundary for after-hours communication. For employees too, the lesson is no less important. Every boundary has to be communicated professionally. Making every frustration a public blast is not maturity. Gen Z's strength is honesty, but honesty needs direction. Otherwise, even the right point at the wrong moment can hurt a career. Now the major turning point is this. This fight is not Gen Z versus seniors. This is a fight of old work contract versus new human expectation. Old contract used to say you give time, we will give salary. New expectation says I will give value, but I need dignity, growth and life too. This change is big because for the first time employees are openly saying that mental health is not a personal weakness but part of workplace design. Changing the language of office seems like a small thing, but as language changes, thinking changes. When burnout gets a name, discussing it becomes easier. When fake busyness is called productivity theater, people ask, why are we looking busy? Why are we not becoming productive? When career cushioning becomes normal, companies understand that loyalty cannot be bought merely with salary now. When micro-break culture becomes normal, workplace accepts that focus also demands care. Therefore, considering these terms merely as Gen Z slang would be a mistake. These are a preview of the upcoming office. Tomorrow's workplace will perhaps be more flexible, but more accountable too. There, the employee will ask for freedom, and the company will ask for measurable value. There, the manager will not be merely one who assigns tasks, but a leader who manages energy and clarity. Their going to office will not be a punishment, but a reason for collaboration. And working from home will not be a concession, but part of trust. But to reach this future, both sides will have to change. Seniors will have to understand the new language, and Gen Z will have to present their point with responsibility. Because if only slogans remain and performance disappears, trust will break. And if only targets remain and human beings disappear, culture will break.
This video has taught you something new. Or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.